Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the flight deck. We're starting a little bit earlier today. I've got to go out this afternoon, so I do want to get the flight in. And then I got to go take care of a few things. But we are down here in Princess Juliana Airport, St Maarten, in the Caribbean, and we are continuing our round the Atlantic flight. We're heading from here up to Miami. So it should be a very scenic trip. Flying along is Kevin. He's in the JetBlue sitting over there. It should be a pretty good flight. I'm not sure if he's aware that I'm starting early. It was kind of a last minute thing after I got off the phone. But I'm sure he'll pick up on it very soon. So we're going to get ourselves up and ready to go. It's a bit of a long flight, almost 3 hours. And it'll take us up along the Caribbean coast and into Miami. We do have ATC up down here in St Maarten, and currently nothing else. A whole bunch of aircraft heading to somewhere, not sure where it is. TKPK, there's a huge line of them heading in there. Oh, that's Robert Bradshaw. That's just south of us, actually, down in one of the other islands. Well, that should be interesting. We'll be passing by them. But today we're flying the Airbus A320, which is our aircraft for the trip around the Atlantic that we are doing. So let's hop on board and we can start getting the aircraft set up and ready to go. There we are. So we're on board. We can do our pre-flights. We'll get our tracker up and running. And cockpit preparations are complete. Parking brake is confirmed on. We can come up top. Ground power is connected. External power is now on. And batteries 1 and 2 are coming on as well. Hey, Kevin. Alright, let's get the laptop up and going while everything starts to power up. And we'll come in here and pull in our flight plan. And then we'll adjust our start time. Nope. You missed one. 1415, and then we'll update. There we go. Come over here to our ground services. Everything is hooked up. Doors open, and over to our mass and balance. 114 passengers today. 2.4 tons of cargo, and 10.4 tons of fuel. Right. So we're going to load the aircraft. We'll do it, let's see how this runs. We'll go fast, and then we will request boarding.
Boarding requested.
It seems to run pretty quickly as well, so hopefully those will match up and do their thing. So while that's starting, we'll come up, do the adheres. Here's 1, 2, and 3. Evac sign is set Captain Purser. We'll get the signs on. We'll do all our lights. So nav system 1 is on. And we'll crank our panel lights. Or the integral lights. So they're all set. Crew oxygen is now on. Generators 1 and 2 are on and in fault. Packs 1 and 2 are on and in fault. Cockpit heat and cabin heat will turn down. Get it nice and cool in here. Emergency exit lights are now armed. Icing indicator.
Crew?
Standby compass is on.
Passengers boarding starting.
Cargo heat is set to cold. Alright. So we can come down here to the AOC menus and start getting this set up. So if we come into the ATSU, AOC and messages received. There's our preliminary load sheet. Accept that. And we'll pop over and start getting the aircraft FMC up and running. Database current to 14 June. Clear those messages and we'll initialize. We'll request our flight plan. And there we go. TNCM to KMIA, St Maarten to Miami. Our alternate is KMCO today, which is Orlando. Our flight number for this flight, since we're on a tour, is UKV 5556. Cost index of 25. Today's cruise is going to take us to flight level 340. And we will grab the winds for our climb and descent. And there we go, winds are in.
Morning. This evening have some please. Thank you.
All right. Just checking something there. Now we can come over here and enter in our preliminary information. Our block fuel for today's flight is 10.4 tons. We're going to enter that in. And our zero fuel weight is estimated to be 55.0. And our estimated center of gravity will be 29.6. Enter that in. And we can come over to our route. So, according to the ATIS, which we have here at the airport, we are using runway 10. Current weather is winds are 110 at 9 knots. A little bit of rain in the vicinity, 10 miles of visibility, or 10 kilometers of visibility, and a few clouds in the area. And we're currently info Delta. So we're going to be departing off of runway 10. We're doing the Pelican to departure out to Juice, and we will insert that. That is all nice. And for our arrival, into Miami. Current winds in Miami are 360 at 6. So we're going to use 08.
Hello, sir.
08 right, I believe. Yeah, it's 08 right. ILS for 08 right. And we're coming in on the Vice 2 arrival. Vice 2. And we're going to transition at Madiz, and we'll insert that. And if we come down here, there's Madiz,
Hello, sir.
bringing us around to the arrival. Very nice. Blitz, and then it's a manual over to intercept. We'll leave that for now, and we can take that out if we're going to be self-vectoring. Alright, performance will be next. But while we wait for that, let's take a look at our route for today's flight. Alright, so we're going to leave St Maarten. We're going to turn to the south, avoiding the island, head down, circle around up on the Pelican to Juice, and then we're going to head up this way over. Let's quickly do this. Can I have the jetway back, please? Thank you. Up over St. Thomas, and then Puerto Rico, turning north at San Juan, out over the water, coming up over the Bahamas. And there we go. and then into Miami, where we're going to make a series of right turns to come around and land. So flight time is just under 3 hours. And should make for a decent trip. So it looks like all the passengers are on board, so I can get our final numbers and carry on while we hear the sounds in the background of them still loading. That is all fine, so we're just going to resend that final load sheet. There we go. So there's our final load sheet. Zero fuel weight of 55.6. So we come back over, we'll go to our initialization. Page B, 55.6. That puts our center of gravity at 28.9. See, the numbers are slightly different. That's now our actual. We'll set that. There we go. And we can now do our performance. So over to here. Do our performance. Departure performance. That's better. Runway 10 services dry. We're going to be going off flaps 1. Packs will be on. We'll bring in our load sheet, sync the weather, and calculate.
Morning.
So 136, 140, 140 is our V speeds. 136, 140 as our rotation. 140 minimum climb. And it wants us one up 0.5 and a 59-degree flex. It's one up 0.5 and a 59-degree flex. So that's all entered in. Can pop up here. Go to 40, go to plan. And you see our departure. We're going to come around, loop around, come up this way. Head out over San Juan, up over the ocean, over the Bahamas, sitting down. And we'll self-vector when ready around into Capra and in on the ILS for the landing. So that all looks good. Set up for that. And I think it's time we get our clearance. So 118150 is San Juan Center, who are currently controlling the area. There's 118150, and we'll set 22800 as Unicom, because we're going to be going to that very shortly.
Netherlands Coast Guard 04, we'd like to transition to the north side of the field if possible.
Netherlands Coast Guard 04, transition is approved that side, when on the north side of the field.
Roger, transition approval report when on the north side, Netherlands Coast Guard 04.
Quick ATIS check, it is still Delta. San Juan Center, good morning. Skyways 5556 at Princess Juliana, gate Alpha 2, looking for a clearance up to Miami.
Skyways 5556 San Juan Center, hello. Clear to Miami at filed initial climb, flight level 150 for 2375.
Roger, clear to Miami has filed initial climb to 150 and squawking 2375, Skyways 5556.
Skyway 5556, read back correct, advise ready for push and start.
Will advise, Skyways 5556. So 2375.
And San Juan JetBlue 19 Tango, we're ready for taxi.
Is
JetBlue 19er Tango, taxi holding point Alpha, runway 10.
Oh, and it looks like everybody is now ready for
Netherlands
push.
Coast Guard 04, north side of the field.
Thank you.
Alright, so let's grab the current weather. I'll just throw it into the chat so everyone can see. The 9 o'clock forecast. Looks like they're going to have some rain and thunderstorms later on. And it is currently 1017. So we'll dial that in, make sure we get that into standby as well. 1017 is set. And we are all good there. So carrying on, altimeters are set, transponder is set 2375, PWS is on, GCS is on, fueling, loading, and boarding is complete. APU master is on. I'll count to 5. APU is on. We'll come back over to our ground guys here. And you can pull the jetway away. Close the door. Now we're just waiting for the APU to come up. Sounds like the cabin is pretty well ready to go.
On behalf of the cabin crew, I'd like to welcome you aboard our flight. As you find your seat, be sure to place your larger carry-on items in the overhead bins and smaller items underneath the seat in front of you. If you have trouble finding a location for any of your carry-on items, please use the flight attendant call button over your seat and somebody will assist you. If the overhead bin is full after you put your carry-on inside of it, please close the bin as a courtesy to other passengers.
JetBlue
Once
19
all your
Tango,
items are put away, please
runway
clear the
10
aisle and
cleared
sit
for
down in your
takeoff,
seats to
wind
allow other
110
passengers to
at
find their
diner.
seats as well.
Roger, keep company 10, wind copy.
There goes Kevin, getting ready for takeoff.
JetBlue 19 Tango, flight heading 180.
APU is up. APU leads are on. External power is now disconnected. Takeoff data is set 136, 140. FCU is set. Initial climb 150, 15,000 feet.
Thank you and welcome aboard.
Flight directors are on both sides and radios are set.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard flight.
Chocks are removed. GPU is removed.
Our flight time will be roughly 2 hours
only
and 48 minutes. Now that the
We've got the A320 JetBlue in sight, the Neverland Coast Guard 34.
And your large devices are now shut down and secured. Please fasten your seatbelt.
Maintain visual separation, Neverland Coast Guard 34.
Seatbacks are in a full upright and locked position for departure.
San Juan Center, Skyways 55, 56, ready for push. Julian.
Skyway 5556, push and start approved, facing west.
Roger, push and start approved, facing west. Skyways 55, 56. Alright, so we're going to push to the west, so request our pushback. Yes.
American 1546, leaving my airspace to the southeast. PR close center is offline. Radar service is terminated.
So we're finished with this.
Honeycomb is approved. Have a good day.
Change is approved to American 1546. Thank you. See ya.
Zip.
Let's head into here. We'll go here. My flight. Bring up the route.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
But Kevin's already gone. There he goes. There he is, making the
Departure
turn.
checks completed. Flight has been inserted.
Yeah, nice day down here, but as you can see by the weather, there's showers in the vicinity, and it looks like they're going to get some cumulus buildup as well. And we're going to go our tail to the right, nose to the left, because we want to be facing west. We're facing north.
And St Maarten, JetBlue 19 Tango.
Report 8 test information, Delta 1300 Zulu. Wet 110 at Niner. Wet variable between
Okay.
080 and...
That caused, pushing that number 2, caused my radio to change. Interesting. So I'm gonna have to go into everything and see if that's linked into something.
Release parking brakes, please.
Alright, brakes released.
Release parking brakes, commencing push. All engines clear. Start at wheel.
Alright, push is starting, so we're gonna come up top.
Attention all aircraft San Juan Center has to close. Have a good day and enjoy flying.
Beacon lights are on, fuel pumps are coming
Thank you very much,
on.
fantastic service, and have a great
Ignition mode selector to start, and starting
34,
engine number
have a good
2.
day. Have a good one.
So San Juan's leaving, so we'll just take ourselves out to the runway once we're done with our push.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the flight attendants for a safety demonstration. When the seatbelt light is fastened, please make sure that your seatbelts are fastened low and tight across your lap. To fasten, insert the metal fittings into one another and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle.
And one rotation, fuel injection.
There are several emergency exits on this aircraft. Please take a few moments now to locate your nearest exit. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft, floor-level lighting will guide you towards the exit. In the event of a decompression, an oxygen mask will drop in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you. Place it firmly over your nose and mouth.
And starting
Secure
engine
the
number 1.
elastic band behind your head. Tighten the straps if necessary and breathe normally. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing to the mask. If you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask on first and then assist others. Keep your mask on until a member of the crew advises you it is safe to
Alright,
release it.
engine 2 is available.
Parking brakes.
Water landing, a life vest is located in the pouch under
Waiting
the
your
seat of the
confirmation for a good engine
When
start.
instructed to do
Brakes
so,
are set.
open the plastic pouch and remove the vest. Slip it over your head. Wrap the straps around your waist and buckle at the front. Pull the strap to tighten. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord only when exiting the aircraft. If your life vest does not inflate automatically, blow into the mouthpieces for manual inflation.
There's the bus.
Each vest is equipped with a whistle and light.
And 18.3 stable.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start.
So, generators 1 and 2 are both now online. No faults. Ignition mode selector going to normal. Probe heats are on automatic. NTI's not required. Packs 1 and 2 are both online and no faults. Flap set F1 plus F.
All of this information and more can be found on the safety card located
Trim
in the
is
seat
up
back in front of you.
05.
We suggest reading this and let us know if you have any questions. Thank you for flying with us, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
Up 05 is set. Flight control check. Full left, full right, neutral, full forward,
Tow truck
full
disconnected.
back,
Bypass pin
neutral,
removed.
left rudder, right rudder, neutral.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Flight controls are free and clear, correct. APU bleed is off. APU is off. FCP is set, managed. And engine instruments are now checked. Everything is green. Tiller is on. Where is she? Oh, there she is. There she is over there. She's going to give me the wave. Oh, aircraft landing. Good to see you. Taxi light is on. We'll switch over to Unicom. Juliana area traffic, Skyways 5556 taxiing to runway 10 via the apron and Alpha.
And Juliana traffic, Netherlands Coast Guard 04, we're flying direct to the hotel apron now. We're going to follow the runway center line and then we'll report when clear of the runway, Prince Juliana.
So they're heading down to the far end. So, speed brakes armed and auto brakes set to max. DO config check is done.
The cabin is ready.
Cabin is ready. You can see the winds are pretty much straight down the runway. Oh, good to hear you tonight. It looked smooth. I watched you do the turnout there in front of the mountain. Seemed to go well. For some reason, I seem to be doubled up on scenery here again. I went and... I'm gonna have to look. I might have two Princess Julianas going on here. I did go into GSX and remove the jetway thing, but I could have a freeware plus a payware overlapping. I don't know. I'll have to check. Alright, so there's Bravo. We're going to move down.
Juliana traffic, Netherlands Coast Guard 04, clear for runway 10.
We're going to come down to Alpha. Hold line for runway 10. Alright, so we are holding. V-speeds are checked, FCP, nav data, and radios are set. Turn lights are all on. Transponder is on. TCAS is on. Weather radar is on. Juliana area traffic, Skyways 5556, take a position, runway 10. Oh, that's Luke's group. Okay, I saw them heading in there. Yeah, we're going to be passing right through them. Alright, so we're going to swing around here. There's the beach, the famous beach. Let's see if we see anybody on the beach today. Oh, there's a few people there. Waiting to see our fantastic takeoff. Famous beach bar there. Alright. Get ourselves around and lined up. Alright. Engines to 40%. Clock is running. Juliana area traffic, Skyways 5556 rolling, runway 10 on the Pelican 2 departure. Takeoff power set, man flex, SRS, and auto throttle blue. Definitely gonna have to look at this setup, see if I got multiple airports loaded in. 100 knots. There's the guy who pulled over into the hotel area there. And rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Commencing our turn. Autopilot's on. Very nice, very nice, very nice. We'll clear the mountains and thrust climb set. Speed starting to increase, and into the clouds we go. That must be the BVX call sign on Osprey. Oh. There we go. Speeds up to 180. TCAS is clear. Good. Alright, so ground spoilers are now disarmed. We're through S speed, flaps up. As we climb out, we'll turn off the turn-off lights and the taxi lights. Speed's increasing, 220 knots. Nice view out over the water. Believe it or not, we have 114 passengers on board there. It's fairly cloudy, but it was a nice day down here. Beanie Basher, or Beanie Basher Gaming, hello. Let's hop back into the cockpit here. I'm going to switch over to standard pressure now as we're through transition. And we're going to make the turn en route. Frenchie has a slightly slower climb rate than the 737 does, but it's not too bad. So we're making our turn now, and we're going to head up towards the Juice waypoint, which is our entry off of the departure and onto the en route section. It's 9,000 feet, and we're going to go right up to 340. No, it doesn't actually, which is still very annoying. I wish it did. I wish the Boeings did. I think the only one that has a working weather radar is the A310, actually. Kevin, am I right with that?
Fasten while you're seated and do not congregate in the galleys or near the lavatory.
Alright, so there's 10,000 feet. We'll turn off the landing lights and seatbelt signs can come off.
The flight crew has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. You can now get up and move about the cabin. However, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened when needed in case of unexpected turbulence.
Still accelerating up to our high-speed, high-altitude climb, or a high-altitude climb speed. Now we can see the route ahead. Oh, the ATR has both weather and terrain. Yeah, the terrain radar in the 310 doesn't work. Interesting. I can't stand any anymore. Any builds? Not sure what you mean by that. Alright, so it looks like I may have figured out what was causing my radio switching issue. It seems to be a bind with the keys. I'll check that after the flight. I made a note I've got to check the airport there and see what's going on. I like the A310. It's interesting. We flew it for a while. I still fly it on occasion. I'm interested in to see what the A330 from is it Aerosoft is going to look like. And I have the ATR. I just haven't gotten into it as of yet. I will be doing that soon because we are going to be flying that eventually. But there's just so much to fly in so little time. Alright, so everything is looking good. Quick pop outside, there's the aircraft. And we're now climbing directly up to flight level 340. So Kevin's ahead of us. It's looking good. I'm happy they're taking their time with it, but it is looking good. I'm also looking forward to the new avionics update when it comes out. I would really, really love to see massive improvements in both the 747 and the 787. I fly the 747 with the Salty mod on cargo runs on Sundays. It's not bad, but there's issues. But I'm hearing that the let me get the map up. I'm hearing that the 787 with the in the beta with all the adjustments is phenomenal. Like people are saying it's really, really good. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Somebody I know, friend of the channel, is in the beta. Says it is really, really good. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, I hope it's a good improvement on it. It might break it. Break the mod for a while until he can rework it to the new, the systems underneath that are being updated, which is fine. Well, we'll see how it turns out. I hope it does well. I like the 747. I like flying the cargo version. I have fun on those flights. Nice long flights. Getting the 787 in as well would be pretty cool. Unfortunately, the VA doesn't use the 787-10, and we're not allowed to substitute. So I don't think it'll be flying for them anytime soon. I'm just gonna do a quick fleet check for them. Oh no, they do fly the 787-10. Alright, so where do they fly it? Let me take a look at that. Well, Beanie Basher, coming up at some point, not sure when, whenever I get a free day to slot it in, we're going back to the DC-6 on a series around the Mediterranean, and we're going to be flying the cargo variant, so that's kind of a cargo airplane in the sim, DC-6 cargo. 787-10, where do you fly? a lot. It's all based out of Heathrow, and there's only about 18 flights for it at the moment, which is a nice number. Yeah, I like it though. We took it around the world in a series last year. Flew the DC-6, recreated the original 1950s Pan Am route around the world, and we actually flew it. It was a pretty good series. Got a lot of time in the airplane. Alright, so we're coming up on 26,000 feet. Climbing up nicely. A couple hours we should be arriving into Miami. So I'm just going to check the route, see which side of the airplane is going to have the better views. Looks like it's going to be the left side. Alright, so let's hop into the left side of the aircraft. There we go. We'll put on our noise cancelling headsets. I'll bring up the entertainment. Service cart and drinks galley and all that stuff are open. I'm gonna go off mic for the cruise portion of the flight. We'll put in the entertainment, and we'll see you all for the briefing before we head down into Miami. If ATC comes up, you may hear me pop in. We'll have to see what happens there. Anyway, enjoy the flight. We'll talk to you in a bit.
coochie, 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 coo. Coochie, 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 coo. Oh. This is a great place for necking.
Oh, why don't you come up and see me sometime?
Sway to the rhythm of my heartbeat.
There is nothing quite so heavenly as the stars above to a pair that's so in love. Honey, I just seem to be dancing on the moon. With you in my arms, far away from all the town, up above the silvery clouds, dancing on the moon. With you in my
This is the story of a few weeks in the life of an airplane, of a very particular airplane, one of the planes which is changing the whole idea of air travel and transport, a big, reliable Douglas DC-6. This one is recognized by the public as the mainliner New York, but she's known to her intimates as United 6534. Her story won't really be what you'd call high adventure. 6534 is beautiful to look at, romantic in these modern times, even exciting. But the frontier days of air transport are gone forever. And 6534 is in the useful business of carrying people and their goods from place to distant place swiftly, comfortably, and with year-round dependability. In the past 4 months, 6534 has flown 340,000 miles, carrying 16,000 people, 750 tons of cargo from the Golden Gate to Manhattan, from Boston to Cleveland, from Philadelphia to Portland, to Seattle, to Denver, to Washington. She's been in the air, at work, almost half of the past 3,000 elapsed hours. But 6534 will never grow old. She will always be a new airplane. Her fountain of youth is the company's vast $6 million maintenance base at San Francisco, where 1,900 skilled men and women continually service and improve the airplanes of United's mainliner fleet. Here is a prime source of 6534's dependability. Almost none of the work on this 1,400-hour overhaul is needed now, but the base is dedicated to the principle of preventive maintenance. And so during the next 7 days, 6534 will be overhauled with microscopic thoroughness. Since 6534's logbook was flown in a couple of days ago, most of this work has already been planned and ordered. This great overhaul dock, the only one of its kind in the world, is a remarkable example of modern industrial technology. Automatic controls raise and lower the huge catwalks, which are designed to fit the DC-6 inch by inch and curve by curve. We hear a lot about bigness these days, both pro and con. But only a big business can provide the big league maintenance which the modern airplane must have. Each one of the hundreds of operations is assigned by written order. No operation can be forgotten or overlooked. After 8 of these major overhauls, her every part except the skin will have been replaced. 6534 will not only stay new, she will improve as newly developed equipment is added. The 18-cylinder Wasps are among the biggest piston engines now being made. The carburetor alone is larger than some automobile engines. Taken apart down to the last bolt and pin, each part will go to its appropriate sub-department to be tested, then refinished or replaced. When the small parts have been grouped in baskets to ride the overhead conveyor for the 5-hour trip through the cleaning bank, our 2,100 horsepower stretch out on a line 60 feet long. Out at the dock, 6534 is being stripped to her bare fuselage, and every part subject to the slightest wear is checked by inspectors. New slotted flaps, about the size of barn doors, permit shorter takeoffs and slower landing speeds. The landing gear, like all of 6534's critical equipment, has duplicate operating mechanisms, one electric and one hydraulic, each entirely independent of the other. The extraordinary delicacy and precision of a top instrument craftsman can make a watchmaker feel heavy-handed. The gyroscope brain of this automatic pilot spins at 18,000 revolutions per minute, with parts so small that they're adjusted through a microscope. Yet the giant propellers are also so finely balanced that they can be set in motion by the weight of a single paper match. An automatic pitch control mechanism shifts gears from climbing to cruising in flight. Upon landing, blades can be fully reversed so that they push against the air, stopping the airplane smoothly and swiftly. Visual and micrometer inspections are supplemented by World of Tomorrow devices which uncover any hidden flaws. In orderly ranks, the new and renewed parts are conveyed to the final assembly line. And once again, they begin to assume the form and function of a giant double wasp engine, seen here in progressive stages of reassembly. Its 18 cylinders, equipped with water injection and jet thrust exhaust, deliver a maximum of 2,400 horsepower. When the pilot guns 4 of these great power plants for takeoff, the 9,600 horses under his hand drive the DC-6 through the atmosphere with more power than is provided by any locomotive now riding the rail. After being run for 5 hours in the test cell, under conditions far more rigorous than anything ever encountered in actual flight, the engines are returned to the dock. And now the overhaul draws to a close. The hundreds of written orders have been worked, checked, and signed off. The final inspectors have swarmed the plane with flashlight and checklists and found everything in order. And on the 5th day, 6534 backs out of the dock feeling like a new airplane, which she is. But there's still another 2 days of careful scrutiny on the ramp by inspectors who check on the inspectors before she's ready for flight testing. During the next 4 hours, the test flight crew will check and recheck the special factors which give 6534 her great dependability. Those reserves of range, altitude, speed, and power. For range, her tanks can swallow the whole 4,200-gallon load of this huge gasoline tank truck, giving her the ability to reach a landing place hundreds of miles beyond any scheduled destination. For altitude, 6534 climbs far above any mountaintop in the entire United States to cruise the smooth upper air far above ordinary weather disturbances. Her pressurized cabin keeps the inside atmosphere at an easy-breathing 7,500 feet, while the air outside is a thin 19,000. For speed, the 4 big engines will cruise the DC-6 at better than 300 miles per hour. For power, the DC-6 requires hardly more than half of its horsepower to achieve this fine performance, which means that she can not only fly with 3 engines, but she can keep on climbing. And she can maintain her altitude comfortably with any 2. 6534 ordinarily cruises at only 55% of her rated power, leaving a comfortable reserve which can be used to maintain normal schedules against adverse wind conditions. Six 534, okay for flight. Take her away. And 6534 goes back on the line, back and forth over United's 13,250 miles of scheduled routes. Clouds are hanging low over the Los Angeles airport this winter morning, and the rain which drizzles off 6534's silver shoulders is only a sample of the weather which lies far to the east. Today, 6534 is scheduled for Flight 608, the Hollywood, eastbound to New York, with 1 stop at Chicago. The crew checks in an hour and a half before flight time. Posted on the weather board, the captain finds a broad assortment of detailed data, including reports of wind conditions at various altitudes and flight logs from pilots who've just flown in over the identical route. The meteorologists get new information minute by minute. Today's ground weather is unfavorable from Denver east, but as usual, the upper air is clear and smooth at the 19,000-foot cruising level. The co-pilot computes his gasoline load to carry the plane beyond Chicago to an alternate airport if need be, plus an ample reserve. Departure time comes closer as the airport limousines bring their passengers from the hotels and terminals. And as the passengers check in for their flights, it becomes obvious that just about everybody travels by air these days. But the captain well remembers that a very few years ago, under similar weather conditions, this flight would not have left the ground.
That's true. Today, lying across the north central plains is a low-pressure area, characterized by rough air and strong winds, blowing in a counter-clockwise direction. Not long ago, unfavorable weather along a single basic route might have canceled the flight. Nowadays, we have many available routes, all radio-controlled airways, and we can choose the one where the weather is best. So today, we'll fly our regular course as far as the Grand Canyon and then swing south via Amarillo, Texas, let those circling winds give us a tailwind boost, which will offset the extra mileage. Tomorrow, the storm center will have moved southward. We'll fly a northerly course. The next day, we'll be back on our regular route. Pilots call this pressure pattern flying, but it simply means that the longest way round is frequently the quickest way home, also the smoothest of the sunnies.
Well, it's time to be getting down to the airplane. Out on the wet ramp, 6534 is drinking her breakfast as the flight engineer, third man of the crew, concludes his nose-to-tail check of her equipment. Overhead in the cockpit, the captain and co-pilot begin the checking and cross-checking, which will go on more or less constantly until they land at Chicago. Although every instrument and control and dial is second nature to these men, each is called off and checked whenever the airplane prepares to leave the ground. The ramp agent has collected 49 gate passes. 6534 is traveling pretty full today. The two stewardesses will have plenty to keep them busy. And somehow it never fails that for every Mrs. Bennett embarking on her first flight, there's a Mr. Bennett relishing the chance to show off his vast experience.
Los Angeles ground control from United 608, ready to taxi, IFR to Chicago.
United 608, cleared to runway 25L.
United 608, ready for takeoff.
United 608, cleared for takeoff. Climb westbound on the west leg of the LA low-frequency range to on top. Report on top.
Roger, 608.
Clear for takeoff. 4 synchronized throttles, jamming 9,600 horses into action, and a schedule to hit. Sunshine 3 miles up. Chicago, 2,000 miles and 6.5 hours to the east. 6534 climbs into the cloud cover a few hundred feet above the field, Mrs. Bennett would feel much better if she knew that the plane is riding a radio track more sharply marked than a highway route. But her uncertainty is momentary, because these big airplanes are usually only 15 minutes from sunshine. Aircraft headed east fly at the odd 1,000-foot altitudes, leaving the even levels cleared for planes flying west. So when the captain levels off at 19,000 feet, 6534 is far above any mountaintop in the United States and clear of airplanes flying in the opposite direction. Passing Hoover Dam and Lake Mead, the co-pilot radios his position and gets in return the latest weather and wind data. Anything interesting goes back to the cabins over the PA loudspeakers.
Your attention, please. This is your captain speaking. Through the windows on the left side, you'll soon be looking down into the Grand Canyon of the Colorado. Directly below us, the dark green triangle is the south rim of the canyon. Now you can see the highway to El Tovar Hotel and Bright Angel Lodge. Radio reports indicate that we should continue to have only scattered clouds until we're over the divide, so there'll still be quite a lot to see. Thank you.
But 1,000 miles to the east, the clouds are solid, not scattered. Chicago Dispatch expects to bring 6534 in as scheduled. But the airlines believe in anticipating every possibility. And so the Chicago Dispatcher refers Flight 608 to base dispatch and payload control at Denver. These offices control the movements of every airplane in United's mainliner fleet, as well as the loads they carry 24 hours of every day. So, out over one of the most extensive private telephone and teletype systems in the world, go payloads requests for data on the individual passengers aboard 6534. To Los Angeles reservations. Which passengers want connections at Chicago? To Chicago reservations. Which passengers want connections on United for Washington, Philadelphia, Detroit, Boston? To Milwaukee, Cleveland, and Detroit airports. Can you take care of Flight 608 if we divert it to you from Chicago? Soon, the communications net brings back the data on Flight 608. Every passenger is now known by name, and every individual's problem will enter into the final decision. Payload and dispatch work up their plan for the flight. If Chicago ceiling drops below the 300-foot minimum, they'll set 608 down at Milwaukee for refueling en route to New York. Prearranged transportation will bring her Chicago passengers to downtown Chicago. These alternate routings are planned as a matter of routine procedure. Actually, few of them are used, as evidenced by the fact that United's entire fleet operates almost 100% of its schedules. It's mealtime now, and 6534 is cruising eastward over the Continental Divide. Those four thundering engines barely audible through the blankets of fiberglass which soundproof the two big cabins. States now, riding the beam up toward the Great Lakes. Mr. Bennett goes over the speech he's giving tonight, while Mrs. B settles back for an after-dinner nap. Young the wheat belt, across the Mississippi, and as 6534 approaches Chicago, the dispatcher radios that the airport is now open. Your attention, please. The overcast in Chicago is lifted above the minimum ceiling of 300 feet. We're cleared to go in through the overcast on a routine instrument approach. You may already have seen the instrument landing system illustrated in a booklet in your flight packet. You'll notice that 2 radio beams are projected from the airport runway. The glide path is like an electronic highway, slanting downward at the correct angle to bring us out at the exact end of the runway. The vertical beam, called the localizer, is the white line in the center of that highway. In front of me here in the cockpit is a simple instrument which tells the whole story. The vertical needle warns when the nose strays even a few feet to right or left of the localizer beam. The horizontal needle does the same thing if we get above or below the glide path. To make the perfect approach, it's only necessary to keep the needles centered. Our mileposts are special radio beacons which cause signal lights to flash in the cockpit as we pass over them and mark our distance to the touchdown point. Although we'll be in the overcast during most of our approach run, our radio aids will tell us exactly where we are at all times. Touchdown on the Chicago runway in 8 minutes. Thank you. Every experienced air traveler well remembers when this kind of an overcast would have meant endless circling over the terminal airport, while the overworked tower talked down the stacked airplanes at 15-minute intervals. But this afternoon, planes will touch down in perfect safety, no more than 3 minutes apart, with the casual ease and sureness of clear weather. The same kind of clouds which concerned Mrs. Bennett a few hours ago have lost their significance. Now she understands how the pilots know exactly where they are at all times.
United 608 calling approach control over Aurora at 5500. Over.
Roger. United 608 cleared to ILS outer marker. No delay expected.
5 miles from the field, the captain lines up with ILS. And the pointers settle down to a steady fix. Wings flat to the glide path, nose straight on the localizer. 6534 is angled for the exact end of the runway, as surely as though she were flying down through an invisible tube. The X-ray eye of the precision beam radar sweeps the skies, pinpointing the position of every airplane in the area within a few feet. Radar man monitors all ILS approaches and could talk any of them down if need be. Landing gear down. The outer marker.
United 608 over the outer marker at 07.
Roger, United 608. You are now cleared to the Chicago Tower. ILS approach.
United 608 leaving outer marker inbound.
Although outside vision is obscured, the captain can see perfectly with the aid of his precision instruments.
Airspeed 135, 130, 125.
There's the inner marker.
125, 125. 125.
And there's 6534 breaking out of the overcast, lined up for a perfect landing. as the wheels touch down on the snow-covered runway. The pilots pull back the throttles, reversing the pitch of the propeller. The engines keep running forward, but the propeller blades change from pull to push, helping to bring the airplane to a smooth, swift stop. Chicago, after 2,000 miles of sunshine, over some of the worst ground weather of the year, and on the midway ramp within 5 minutes of schedule. New York-bound passengers will have time to stretch their legs, make a phone call, or send a wire. But despite the nasty weather underfoot, the well-coordinated ground crews will have 6534 refueled and stocked with hot meals, mechanically checked from nose to tail, mail and luggage and cargo handled and stowed, and the airplane and her people back in the air within 30 minutes. With a fresh crew aboard, 6534 is ready for an on-time departure. Chalk up that one to the teamwork of a crack ground crew. Destination, New York. 6534 climbs through the overcast, from snow to sunshine, in 11 minutes by the clock. Mrs. Bennett and her fellow passengers will be in New York on time. Once those words would have been a boast. Now they're just a routine statement of fact. For today and every day, at air travel's peak hour in the late afternoon, more than 500 airliners are aloft at once over the United States, carrying some 600 tons of cargo and 15,000 passengers, swiftly, safely, and dependably, in a thundering tribute to the airlines of America, big and small, whose crisscrossing routes are weaving a bright new tapestry of service to the present and promise to the future. Close up your magazine, freshen your lipstick, stow those papers in your briefcase, straighten your tie. We're approaching the airport. Another page in the logbook of United 6534.
but I guess to get some sugar. Too much. That's all I can stand. I can't stand no more.
and then you'll want to borrow $50 to bet on.
Jimmy, I never borrow money to bet on the horses. You insult me.
Okay, Papa.
Paper!
Nice business that kid's got there. Best stand in the district.
Sure, people from all over the world.
You know, someday I'm going to have that stand.
Yeah? What about his big brother?
Oh, I care about his brother. Well, Merry Christmas. Now, ain't that nice? Let's sing Jingle Bells with the good little boys. Jingle bells,
Hey! Who took the lid off the garbage and let you out?
Forget it.
Why don't you guys move along now? Play someplace else, huh?
Well, it's a free street, and I always play where I want to. Oh, charge it.
Your credit's no good here.
Oh, it isn't, huh?
No.
Well, I'll remember that when I take over this corner, and you're paying me for the privilege of working here. Oh, here comes your friend. I'll see you around.
Having any trouble with him, Jimmy?
Nothing I can't handle.
Why don't you smack him? That's the easy way. Hey, here comes the truck, fellas.
Bring on it, Jimmy. Okay, Al.
Come on, Jimmy. Give me 40. Come on.
Can I have 50?
40.
Come on.
Yeah.
I need a lot.
50.
Give me 50 too, huh?
50 here.
I'll take 50.
Okay. Okay, take care of the rest of us, will you, Jim?
Where you going?
To school, you know that. Now watch your stand till I come back.
Oh, Jimmy, I had your room all nice and warm for you. Nice and warm in here, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks, Puff.
Did you get the apple I brought you?
Here's your racing form.
Oh, that's something for you, James. That'll give me something to read. If you're not going anywhere tonight, I have a couple of passes to the picture show if you and Gippy want to go.
I'd like to, Pop, but I gotta go to night school tonight. We're having a mock trial. I'm defending a fellow for murder. You know, practicing courtroom strategy.
Fine, fine. You know, that's what I like about you, James. Your perseverance. I was telling that same thing to Tim Farley this morning. You know, Tim and your father and me came from the same county. I said to Tim, I says, that boy is going far. And there's nothing going to stop him. And you know why? Because he sticks to business.
Oh, thanks, Pop. I try.
And speaking about business, I have an opportunity to make a small investment that will pay us back big returns.
What's the horse's name?
Baby G in the Ford tomorrow in New Orleans. 30 to 1 or more.
Not interested.
But I had the tip, you might say, right from the horse's mouth.
You can't believe a horse, Pop.
You ought to know that by now.
Well, would you lend me the loan of $1?
No.
That's what I thought.
Want your apple back?
James, you're always frowning.
See you later, Pop.
O'Toole, you're losing your power of persuasion.
Come on. Here's another nickel, huh? Here's another nickel. Let's fish it. Hello. Want to join? Come on, let's get in.
No. Jimmy's in school. It ain't right.
Oh, come on. No, it ain't right. You better run along and study your Sunday school papers.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, run along and tell the boss. All right, boys, fade me.
You're faded?
7. There it is.
Guys, what here? Why aren't you on the corner selling papers?
Oh, dry up.
Who's talking to you?
Now, what's the matter? You boys lost your nerve? Come on, let's
Hey,
have
let me
a
a dime, will you? I'll roll my own dough.
No, not you. You might get spanked.
I'll worry about that. Roll them out.
Hey, what do you think I'm throwing these for? Exercise?
I want to see those dice.
Now, next time you want to see him, put down some money. Or else get out and let us make dough. All right, here's 15 cents. Come on, boys. Who's going to play it?
I'm a sucker to do this.
Sucker, huh? All right. 90 days.
You ought to get live.
Come on. Well, there it is again.
All right, you kids, on your feet. I warned you before. I thought Jimmy told you to keep out of dice games. Well, you too, Gimpy. I'm surprised.
Yeah, you can't do nothing to us. It's a free country.
Not afraid of the likes of you, Spike. If you open your trap again, it's the back of my hand to you. Come on now, get moving.
Where are you taking us?
I'm taking you down before the judge, and it wouldn't surprise me if he sent you all to reform school.
Oh, hello, Bert. How are you? How's things going? What's going on? Huh?
I'm taking these kids in for playing dice.
Huh? You are? Well, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves, none of you, everyone.
Just a minute. Now, you keep out of this, Pop.
Well, you're not going to risk Gimpy, are you?
I certainly am.
But it ain't constitutional. You can't do it.
Now, you get moving, or I'll take you along, too. Come on, now, get going, all of you. Go on. Go on. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Come on.
Mr. Simpson, you will act as prosecutor. The proposition is this. The defendant is charged with murder. The witness is prepared to testify that the defendant is known to her to be dangerous, a possible murderer. I want you to invent your speeches as you go along, to show me how you can think under pressure before a jury. Very well, Mr. Simpson. Proceed.
Mr. Scott, it is your testimony that this defendant is known to you personally to be a dangerous person. Answer yes or no. I repeat, an unequivocal answer, yes or no.
Yes.
You know this defendant to have definite homicidal tendency.
Yes.
Your witness, Mr. Keene.
Thank you, Mr. Simpson. Am I to understand you're willing to swear you know my client to be a dangerous person? You know the man who is here on trial for his life to be a potential murderer.
I certainly do.
You know beyond any question.
I do.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I ask you, do we really know anything except from our own past personal experience? The witness says she knows my client is a dangerous man. The witness says she knows my client has always been a murderer at heart. How does she know? How can she know? How do you know my client has always been a murderer at heart? Did he ever murder you? No. Of course not. We say we know wind will blow out a candle. How do we know? From past experience. We say we know we all must die. Do we know? We haven't died yet.
Just a moment, Mr. Keenan. Your speech sounds faintly familiar.
Well, I guess it does, sir.
Whose is it?
Well, I read it in a book. I'll tell you something, though. The man who made that speech got an acquittal on the first ballot.
Is that so? Who was he?
A man named Abraham Lincoln.
I thought so.
This is incompetent, irrelevant, and immaterial. And when are you going to stop quoting Abraham Lincoln?
I'd say Mr. Keenan could hardly pick a better person to quote. There were many better lawyers than Abraham Lincoln, but there never was a man who could argue more successfully to a jury. Keep it up, Mr. Keenan.
Excuse me, Mr. Wilson. What are you busting in here for? I had to. Where's got all the kids in jail? Wait a minute. I'm sorry, Mr. Wilson.
That's all right, Jimmy.
Could I be excused now?
Of course.
Thank you. It's a terrible thing, Jimmy. Yeah, wait till we get outside. Wait till we get outside. What's it all about?
Officer Bert caught them shooting dice with that low-down Spike Morgan running the game.
Spike?
No less. And then Bert took them all to jail.
Was Gimpy in the game?
Sure. What are you going to do?
What's the matter? You a cop, too?
All right, you boys, stand up. On your feet.
Take off your hat.
Does he, Mr. King?
Yes, sir. Well, how about it? Am I your lawyer? Come on, come on. All right. I understand the charge is gambling.
That's right.
It says in the statute books that to convict for gambling, you must have witnesses. How much did you lose? Or did you win? Huh? There we are, Judge. No wins, no losses, no gambling.
Oh, I've had enough of this.
Judge, if an officer strikes a counselor during a case, that's contempt of court, isn't it?
You seem very well versed in the law, Mr. Keenan.
I'm studying it.
Yes, I suspected that. Well, what will happen if I let your clients go home?
Well, they won't be back here again soon.
You seem very sure of that.
If they want to keep on working for me, they've got this trouble.
Very well. I'll place you all on probation to Mr. Keenan. That's all?
Thank you very much. All right, on your way, on your way.
Very good. Tell me about that boy.
Heard of Tab Keenan?
The racketeer?
The big shot. That's his brother.
Well, he doesn't act like a racketeer's brother.
No, certainly never did.
Who's the little crippled boy?
He lives with Jimmy, works for him. Jimmy's taken care of him ever since the poor little fellow's mother died. That's 2 years back.
No parents, eh? Well, he ought to be in an orphan asylum.
If you ask me, Your Honor, little Gimpy couldn't have a better home or finer care than he's got right where he is. Quite a lad, this Keenan boy. They call him the Abe Lincoln of 9th Avenue.
Why?
He's trying to pattern his life after Lincoln. He's not growing up as Abe Lincoln had.
All right, come on, come on.
I don't owe you a dime.
How much did he take off you with those crooked dice?
$1.12.
Yeah, and when we got pinched, he grabbed up all the coin in the game.
All right, you're going to hand it over, or am I going to tell my friend the judge I can't be responsible for you?
All right.
Don't do it again.
You're not telling me.
I'm telling you, don't get any of my kids in the game again.
I'd like to have a talk with that boy. See if we can find him.
Yes, Your Honor. Better get that stand of yours cleaned up, too, Mr. Keenan.
For what?
Because any day now, I'm taking over the corner.
Well, why don't you try it tonight?
Well, I'm waiting till your big brother gets what's coming to him. Then you can't yell to him for help.
I don't need any help from my big brother, and you don't...
Oh, Jimmy. Judge Carroll wants to see you.
What do you want to see me for?
He's your friend, ain't he?
Get going, Spike.
Yeah, you fellas better go on back to the stand. Gib, wait here for me. We'll talk.
This way.
Who's studying law?
10th Avenue Night School.
Who's your teacher?
Mr. Wilson.
Mr. Wilson? Oh, I know Mr. Wilson. Good man. I think I'll have to call him up about you. If only to suggest that they give you some special tips on courtroom etiquette. Now, for instance, when you interrupt the judge, try saying, if Your Honor, please. That sometimes helps your case.
I see what you mean, Your Honor.
Come up here a minute. Things look a little different from here, don't they?
Yes, sir.
You've got quite a problem assuming responsibility for all those boys.
Well, I'm used to problems, sir. I'll guarantee the behavior of my boys.
How about the Morgan boy?
Well, he doesn't say things the way you and I do, Judge. He hasn't had our advantages.
Well, there's something to that. Isn't he sort of an enemy of yours?
I never let myself think I have any.
Your ideal had many enemies.
Yes, malice towards none.
Here's a book might interest you.
The humorous side of Lincoln. I've never read that.
It was that side of him that made him so human and just.
I understand that.
Pretty hard to have a sense of humor when the going's tough.
It's true.
How's your paper business going?
Pretty good.
Will you be able to go to college?
Well, I hope to have enough saved up, yes, sir.
Your brother, agent, financially?
No.
Yes, plenty.
I can't use that kind of money, sir.
You know, Jimmy, it takes a long time for a young lawyer to make a decent living.
You did all right.
That's right. Well, Counselor, come in and see me again sometime.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Goodbye.
Bye.
He's been with the judge for a long time.
Yes, they take it. Say, that's a hunch. The judge in the court tomorrow.
Huh?
You know what'll happen when you leave the stand again, don't you? I'll get a new boy, that's all.
That's right. If it hadn't been for me hurrying to your rescue, you'll be in jail right now. You know that.
Okay.
Well, I'm just looking after your interest, James.
Thank you very much.
You couldn't...
No.
That's what I thought.
I'll never shoot dice again as long as I live. Never.
No?
No, sir. We're friends again?
Okay, I'll forgive you this time.
Spike, huh? Who else? And after what you did for him with the judge.
What are we gonna do about it? What are we gonna do about it? You guys are gonna clean it up, that's what. If you hadn't been shooting dice, this wouldn't have happened. Come on.
All right, well, we ought to be dragging Spike over here and making him do this.
Yeah, even if we had to break his dirty neck.
He's pro to Jim. He ought to tell the judge about it. Nah, Jim don't get no little squealer. He can lick four guys like Spike.
But he don't like fight. He wants everything according to law.
Yeah.
There's an extra you can sell, Keenan. You want any more?
Yeah. Give me another 100.
Okay, Al.
Gee, Jimmy's brother's in a jam again.
Listen to this. Again, as often in the past, police will question Tab Keenan, but nobody seriously expects he will be held very long.
They'll never get him. Oh, he gets away with it every time.
I wonder if he did the shooting.
Nah, he probably hired somebody. Yeah.
You guys gotta talk or sell paper.
Oh, come on, get going.
Oh, boy, please sell.
30.
Jimmy, don't go after Spike till we get back.
Maybe we ought to take guns, too, huh?
Excellent.
Don't let her get you. What a pity. They ain't got such a bad face.
No charge. anywhere to sell papers?
Extra paper! Extra!
General Investments Incorporated. No, I'm sorry, Mr. Keenan isn't in. General Investments Incorporated. I'm sorry, I can't call Mr. Keenan.
Could I see Mr. Keenan? I'd like to see Mr. Keenan.
I'm sorry, Mr. Keenan isn't seeing anyone today.
Oh, tell him it's his brother.
Mr. Keenan, there's a boy here who says it's your brother. Let's be correct. General Investments Incorporated.
That's how much I want from that guy. Don't come back without it. Scram. What do you know? Been so long since I saw you, I wouldn't know you.
I know you.
Sure, I'm always in the paper. See my picture in the extras? Not very good. I'll have to have some new ones made. Smoke?
No.
Good thing you don't. Well, a kid like you smoking to knock your ears down. Come on, sit down. How do you like the office?
It's all right.
I had a big year. Pretty soon I'm going to own the whole building. I got a system, kid. The more I get, the more I want. The more I want, the more I get. That's the secret of my success. I want you to remember that.
Yeah, I'll remember.
What are you doing?
I own a newsstand.
So I make the news and you sell it, huh? At last we're in business together. That's the way it should be. Where do you live?
I got a nice room in the basement of the old house we used to live in.
In the basement? Huh. I have neglected you. Well, now that I'm in the money, what would you like to be?
I'm going to be a lawyer.
That's great. Smart. You know what I pay my mouthpiece? 25 grand a year. I'll tell you what. I'll put you through college, give you $50 a week, car. You come and live with me, and then when you graduate, you work for me. That's the setup. Come on, what do you say? I'll take you out and buy you some clothes and dial you all up. Can't have a brother of mine going around looking like that, selling papers and living in a basement.
No, I'm doing all right.
All right. Come on, come on. I'll show you my place. Wait till you see where I live.
I can't right now, Ted.
Why not?
Well, you wouldn't remember what day it is.
According to the paper, it's still Friday. So what?
So it's Mother's birthday. I always take her some flowers.
That's right. I'll go with you. With a big bunch of flowers. Oh, I don't care, 50 or 100 bucks. Is that all right? Red roses with the big long stems?
No, I got them. Some violets. She always liked them, remember?
In there? Yeah. Never mind. You're a funny kid. Okay, let's go. Something to you in there. Makes you feel kind of ashamed, don't it?
Does it do that to you?
Sure. Leaving that cheap headstone on Mom's grave all this time? When I get back to the office, I'm going all over new one. Something special, big. Maybe an angel with wings on it. I want you to help me figure it out.
Doesn't mean anything else to you. Nothing else.
What else?
Well, truthfully, I thought bringing you down here might help you remember what you promised Mom.
Sure, I remember. I promised her I'd look after you tonight. Well, I'm going to do it, just like I said.
You've forgotten the rest, huh? About going straight, keeping decent in a mountain or something?
Oh, so that's it. You don't think I amount to anything?
I'm glad she isn't here to see what you turned out to be. I don't see any difference between you and any common thief.
Now listen, kid, you're talking to your brother.
You're no brother of mine from now on.
Hey, what you hiding here for?
Go on. Beat it.
What are you crying about?
I ain't crying. I'm
Who broke your stick?
Nobody. Can't you leave me alone?
You come over here to...
Cut it out! Cut it out!
Come along here now. Jimmy?
Cut it out!
Jimmy, someone broke his stick and he won't say who.
Who did it? Come on, who did it?
Thinks I'm scared. Thinks I'm little. I'll show him. I'll get him.
Spike, huh?
I was down on the corner selling my papers, and he said I didn't have any business there. Then he took my crutch and broke it.
Take it easy. Hey, tough guy. Pick on me if you want to. Stay away from that little kid. Now keep off my corner.
Ain't you gonna do nothing about it? No, I gotta be smart. Tell the judge. Let's get the rest of those monkeys, Jim.
You stick around here. Next time something happens to the stand, I'm gonna take it out of your pay. All of you.
Paper, not an initiative, paper, sir. Paper, not an initiative, madam. Paper, madam, not an initiative.
You don't have to carry me.
Merry Christmas, Jimmy.
What'd you do that for?
Christmas, ain't it?
Sure. And that's Santa Claus.
Yeah.
There ain't no Santa Claus.
Oh, I see. I'm gonna have trouble with you now, huh? How do you know there ain't no Santa Claus?
What'd you ever do for me?
You haven't been a good kid.
I never brought me anything before I knew enough to be there.
How would you feel now if he did bring you something this Christmas after a crack like that? Yeah.
Don't make me laugh.
Why can't you get it into your head that when you give, you receive?
When you do a good deed, you get paid back twofold.
Say, Pop, get me something to fix this crutch, huh?
Right, I have something here in the box here.
Make some coffee, Jim.
Sure.
You know what that kid needs, Pop?
What?
Something he never had in his life. Christmas tree.
Say, that's a great idea, Jimmy.
Will you get him one?
Sure I will, and I'll string popcorn me something, put it all over.
Swell. Get him a swell one with a lot of lights and stuff to hang over it, too. You think $3 will cover all that?
$3? I bet you I'll have change left.
Well, here's the $3.
All right. Here you are. His eyes will stick out like a fish, I'll bet you.
Well, get a good one, you know. Not too small. Will be ready in a minute, Jim.
Thanks for fixing it, Jimmy.
Don't thank me, thank Pop.
Huh?
Yeah, he's fixing it now.
How much did you give him?
Not a cent.
Bet he borrowed something then.
What's the matter? Don't you trust anybody?
No. What are we gonna do about Spike?
We're gonna ignore him.
What?
I-G-N-O-R-E. Ignore him.
If he'd only say the word, we could lick his whole gang.
The argument's over.
I get tired of having somebody always fight my battles. If I was a little bigger.
If you were bigger, you'd be dumber. Fighting every minute, not saving up any brains.
Yeah, I know. Honesty's the best policy. Keep out of trouble. Don't cheat, don't gamble, don't fight. A lot of don'ts, nothing left to do. It's a cinch for you. You got talent and everything.
Yeah, it's easy for me.
Yeah, but it's tough on a fellow like me with different ideas.
Now be quiet, will you? I got some studying to do.
Peace on earth. I can't seem to get that Christmas spirit business.
You will.
Well, I'll try.
Attaboy.
But I'm still glad you socked Spike.
Important to remember that a lawyer comes to court prepared. But a truthful witness is not prepared. He has thought so much about the facts as he knows them that he is no longer sure what is fact and what is fiction.
Too bad you didn't poke the other two guys.
The intelligent lawyer can take advantage out in the witness's mind, ethically and justifiably, in his effort to separate truth from imagination.
No!
So For what?
So where were you on the night of November 8th?
How do I know? Hey.
And how do you know it was a black car? Might have been a green car, or blue, or even maroon.
And how far were you from the corner when it happened?
What happened?
You can't get out of it that way.
How do you know that was John in the backseat?
You don't know. And yet you dare to perjure yourself. You come here with a well-learned story, more fiction than fact. You dare to say you saw the shot fired.
I never saw it.
Yes, you did. You saw the girl in red. Otherwise, your whole story's a lie. You weren't on the corner at all. And if you weren't, where were you?
Well, can't you remember only 8 months ago, 7:14 p.m., the night of the murder? What kind of a witness are you? Answer me yes or no, once and for all, and stop squirming. And remember the penalty for perjury. You swear upon your oath that there was no other weapon in your overcoat pocket except the shotgun? Do you or do you not?
Do you feel all right?
Huh?
Maybe you got a fever, huh?
What?
You've been acting awful funny.
Here's your stick.
Shh.
What's the matter?
Something's wrong with you. You better call a doctor.
A doctor? Oh, give her some coffee, then we'll fix it all right.
Your Honor, I charge this witness with falsifying the facts, and I demand that he be punished for perjury to the full extent of the law. Now look what you did.
I did?
Did you do that? Yes, you let the coffee pot run over. You ought to get 30 days for perjury.
All right, I'm crazy too. Take me away.
Hello, Pops.
Hello, how are you?
You looking for a nicer Christmas tree?
Yes, I'm looking for a nice one, but you don't seem to have much here.
What is it? For a bigger party, smaller party, or just the family?
It's a grand party. It's going to be a big party. And I want a tree big enough to hold all the decorations I'm going to put on it. I'm going to have popcorn strung all over it. I'm going to have apples and oranges hanging down and decorations all over it.
Well, how about this one here?
Now, how much is that?
For you, my friend, I give it to you for $1.
Well, how much is this 50-cent one here?
Oh, half $1.
Oh, I'd like something in between the two. Something for about 75 cents, I think.
I got just the one for you. Look, this one here for 75 cents.
Oh, I guess I'll take a look around.
So, now, how about something to eat? Turkey.
Turkey?
Come here. See, this turkey here is seasoned nice and tender. When you got them all fixed them up, all you have to do is put them inside of the oven, and she cooks by himself. And when you start to taste it, it's going to taste just like wild turkey.
Wild turkey?
Yes, wild turkey.
Wild turkey.
And this tree, nice
Wild turkey.
leaves and everything.
Wild turkey.
Can't feel. Well, let me see.
Wild turkey. Wild turkey.
What are you doing that for?
Well, it's smoking time. We're through for the night.
We never closed this early before.
Well, this is Christmas Eve. It's different.
What's wrong with you?
Not a thing in the world. Come on, we're going home.
Why?
Will you stop asking so many questions? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Jimmy.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, boys. People will think you're crazy.
Maybe I am. Thank you, Jimmy.
The same fella, you're doing it twice.
So what?
Just in case I'm wrong. Good thing Christmas only comes once a year.
Why?
You'd have us broke. We ain't gonna work, let's go look at windows.
No, we got something better than that. I got a surprise for you.
What's a surprise?
Now you wait and see till you get inside.
Can't you tell me now?
No, no. Close your eyes.
How can I see with my eyes closed?
Close your eyes. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes.
Well?
Wait for me. I'll be right back. Hey, Pop. Where's
the tree? Well, you see, Jimmy,
You didn't get it. What happened to the $3?
Well, I went in the store to get the tree, and I was looking at the tree, but right staring me in the face was a great big turkey, and it was marked $3, and I thought, well, now, the other day I saw a horse named Wild Turkey in the form sheet, and I said to myself, I'll put the $3 on Wild Turkey, and we'll have a bigger Christmas than you thought of having. You see, I'll get the turkey and the tree.
Okay. But you spoiled the kids' Christmas.
Childish, you know. We're grown up.
What happened?
Well, I gave Pop a couple of bucks to get a tree, and he lost it.
Lost it? He spent it. I'll get it back.
Sit down. Forget about it. It's too late now.
Giving you receipt, huh? Get Spike out of jail and he wrecks your stand. Do a good deed and you get it back double. You give Pop some dough and you never see it again. Now do you still believe in that stuff?
Yes.
I've been looking for you.
Why?
Never mind why. Come on.
He didn't do anything.
You stay here, Gibbs.
You gotta go to jail, I'm going too.
You'll keep out of this.
What's this all about? No use asking questions. Move along. Move along.
Here he is. Hello, Jimmy. Hello, Your Honor. Jimmy, it's my custom every Christmas to have some of the boys in my district up for tree and turkey. Now, if you can get away, how would you like to come and bring up your boys?
5 of them?
As many as you like. We've got a big turkey.
Would love it. Sure.
See you tomorrow evening then, eh?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good night.
Good night. We'll be there. Now what do you say?
Well, I hadn't got pension, never met the judge.
Did you ever see a more hard-boiled guy? Your golf is ready, my lord.
Don't you think it's kind of dangerous this time of the year? Might catch pneumonia.
You might catch something else if you don't get in there and take your bath. No storm. Behind the ears, too.
Well, here goes. Oh, golly, this is cold. Oh, golly, this is cold.
7 years ago, our fathers brought forth to this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
This is cold.
That this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that the government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from this earth.
I'll get pneumonia sure. Oh, golly. Oh, my head. When are we going to get a bigger bathtub? Is that something? Jesus, that make a fella feel good. Sure glad you made me take one.
Well, you're glad, huh? Well, hey, fella, how about something else? Forget?
Get your mind clean now, too. Don't forget anything.
And please don't let Jimmy find out I didn't take a bath. Well, that's that.
Yep, that's that. Here we go.
Don't you trust me? I
No, I don't.
Talk this over.
No, wait. You try and pull one over on me, huh? Sure.
I was only fooling.
Yeah, well, I'm not. I shouldn't even take you to the party.
Maybe
suits me.
Better be a good dinner the way I'm suffering.
Sure. Look at that. Enough dirt behind them ears to grow potatoes.
Ooh, it's cold.
Cold, warm. Man, feel it.
No, I'll get pneumonia.
You get pneumonia. You get nothing.
You'll pay a big doctor bill.
Yeah. Close your eyes. Hold still. Remember, the first time Judge Carroll saw you, he almost put you in jail, so watch your step tomorrow. And as soon as you see him, take off your cap.
Why?
Don't ask so many questions. Say yes, sir, and no, sir, to him. And whatever they have to eat, you don't want any second helpings.
Don't I?
No. You remember now.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be a real Christmas.
It's cold.
No. There we are. Now.
Well, here I am. Oh, Uncle, a tree looks grand. Well, for all the presents, I hope they're all right.
Thanks for helping me out, Anne. They'll do, I'm sure.
I don't know a thing about your guests. What did you get them last year?
Oh, last year I had a little trouble. They all wanted guns.
Guns? My, I got things like harmonicas and
The
necklaces.
influence over them, I think he has.
Well, let's go over the list. I have some tags.
The list? Well, there is the list. Okay, I've got it here. Let's see. Jimmy, Jigsy, Beansy, Sammy, Gimpy.
Well, there isn't any lead in the names, is there? I'll have to eeny-meeny them.
Now you'll make out, I'm sure.
Uncle Joe, are you sure these boys won't resent my being here?
Why should anyone resent it? Especially these boys who've probably never met anyone like you before.
Oh, I only meant that maybe I'll hold them down.
Well, I hope you do. Well, mind you, these boys are all right. They're perfectly normal. They have a bad environment, no-fit homes, grim surroundings. You know, they need to meet somebody like you, somebody to look up to. You have a wonderful influence on them.
This Keenan boy, how did he overcome his background?
Well, that's very unusual. Instead of climbing a ladder to a second-story window, he's climbing one to an ideal. He seems to have faith in himself, faith in everybody. Why, he even said a good word for it. Incorrigible in my court.
So that's what you see in him. A reflection of yourself.
Oh, no, comparison. Why, I had everything and more. Here's a boy with practically nothing, goes out of his way to help you. Why, he's even taking care of a cripple.
Gimpy.
I had everything I could wish for. But here's a boy who figuratively sits by the fireside with a shingle, a piece of charcoal, studying law, working on a career, asking no favors from anybody. By the way, we mustn't make him think we're doing him a favor today. Tell you what we'll do. We'll make believe we're giving his body for a little while.
We'll make him the guest of honor.
You know, I think I'm giving his body for myself. I'll have more fun out of it than they do.
But not any more than I will. Thanks for letting me be here, Uncle Joe.
Oh, you want to have a party? Let's see. Oh, dear. Jimsy, Jigsy, Beansy. Let's write all these things out here.
Bet nobody's home.
Well, there better be. I kept from eating all day.
Gee, look at the table.
What's that?
Hey, come on, you guys. Look out.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Come on in, boys. Any more out there?
No, that's it.
All right, come on, let's get out the stage.
All right.
Boys, Merry Christmas, Jimmy.
Come on, let's get them on.
I think we've all met before. Merry Christmas, Gimpy. Come on in, everybody.
Hey, it's a nice place you got here.
Yes.
Yeah. those two right there.
Oh, sure, of course.
Right there.
Which one?
Yeah.
All right.
Get it.
Gee, it's the kind that grows out of the ground.
I have it sent down from my farm in Maine.
Hear that, Jimmy? It's from the woods.
Sure, it's from the woods. Got a big place? Yeah, oh yes, we got a lot of those trees on it. Fine. Oh, Jimmy, I want you to meet my niece, Miss Carol. And this is Mr. Keenan.
Yes, I know. I've heard all about the promising young attorney.
You have?
I'm Gypsy. How are you? And I'm to know you. Merry Christmas. So this is Gimpy. Merry Christmas, Gimpy.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, yes, Judge. You want to take a look at this bud while it's still one piece?
Boy, look at boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Big as a house. Look at the size of it, would you?
Gee, look at the size of the thing.
The People versus T. Gobbler. Are we ready for trial?
People are ready, Your Honor.
And the defense?
Oh, the defense is ready, Your Honor.
Let's go to trial.
Boy, look at the radish.
Boy.
The court will be seated. Miss District Attorney, what do you intend to prove?
I intend to prove, Your Honor, that Mr. T. Gobbler is guilty of hoarding grain, living on the fat of the land, and thereby producing a distressing state of hunger among the people.
He sure is. He about 25 pounds guilty. He been hoarding chestnuts and oysters.
It is the judgment of this court that the estate of Mr. T. Gobbler be divided into equal portions to satisfy the appetites of the people.
Now, who's gonna get a name?
I think Gimpy would rather have white meat.
Yes, he would.
I noticed he did. Did you notice that?
Don't you want some celery or olives first?
Don't you want any salad?
You sure paid your debt to society.
Boys, if you stagger in after that dinner, I have a little business to transact here.
That's
Sit
what
down.
my dinner, Judge.
Oh, boy.
I mean, Your Honor, that's the first time I've had pie and pudding at the same meal.
Pie and pudding, eh?
Wonderful.
Oh, all right. Now, wait a minute. Oh, Ann, come here a minute. You've got to help me with this because I can't handle all this packaging.
We were short one, so I had to take one of your neckties.
Now, let's see. Here's the first package. When we find out who this is for. This is for Mr. Jimmy.
Hey,
No, order in the court, or I'll have you all up for contempt.
All right, Judge?
That's right. Jigsy, who's
That's
Jigsy?
me, that's me, it's me. Hey, for me. Thanks.
Who's that for?
Blackfoot. Oh,
Oh, here, here's for Sammy. Oh, Sammy, for you. Yeah, now I guess that's all, isn't it? Well, yeah, that's it. Oh, wait a minute. Here's another one. William McKinley Smith. Is there anyone in the house named Smith?
Oh, that's me!
William Smith. Here's another one. McKinley Smith. And here's one Smith.
Hey, get listen to this on my... Hey, look at this. Nice. Look,
James Michael Keenan, Counselor at Law. Your Honor. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks an awful lot. I'll have to become a great lawyer now, just so I can carry it.
Well, I'm sure it won't be long. But you haven't looked inside. Go on, open it.
Humorous side of Lincoln. Oh, Your Honor, I don't know. I'm not prepared to speak. I asked the court to grant me a postponement.
Granted.
I'm gonna go camping now. I got a knife. Oh, boy. Oh, don't wreck it. Wait a minute.
standing around for? Go on, sell your papers. Hurry up.
Extra, read all about it. Extra, read all about it here.
Well, I think I'll get rid of this foreign language stuff. You know, fellas, there's no business in it. We'll build a new stand and, there goes your protection, kid. So the big shot brother's running away, huh? I guess you better get after him, because I'm taking over the corner from now on. A fine couple of mugs your mother raised.
Nothing now.
Did Spike try to move in on you again?
Yeah, but Jimmy moved him out.
Come on, you folks, get moving. The show's over. Come on, get that car out of there. Come on now. Come on, out of here, all of you. Where's that Keenan kid? No, Jimmy. Heard what happened to your brother, didn't you?
Yeah, sure.
Seen him around here lately?
No.
Any idea where he's out?
No, sir.
Sure about that?
Yeah.
He's telling you the truth, Sergeant. He don't have nothing to do with his brother. He never did. He's certainly not going to help him now. I'll vouch for him. Okay.
Go, Sergeant.
Yeah? All right. Let me take a look at you. You better go home and get that thing fixed up.
I'm all right.
You're not all right. No, go on home. Go on, go on.
All right.
Calling all cars. Tap Keenan seen near 10th Avenue and 30th Street. Tap Keenan seen near 10th Avenue and 30th Street.
Come on, let's go.
Lay off.
Tap.
Hello, kid. Anybody with you?
What are you doing?
They're hot after me. I'm in a jam.
Yeah, I know. Finally caught up to you.
Not me. This is a great spot. They'll never find me here.
No, they won't.
That's the spirit, kid. Look, I got a lot of dough put away, but we'll have to lay low for a while. Then I'll send you after the dough. We'll blow town, change our name. Everything will be great. We'll be riding on top of the world. Proceed to 9th Avenue and 18th Street District. Tap Keenan has just been seen in that neighborhood. Is that the only way to get out of here?
There's a door.
What are you driving at?
I told you to leave me alone. I told you to keep away from me.
You made things tough enough, man. You're not going to use this place for a hideout. You get out of here, I'll turn you in. Why, you little yeller? Turn who in? Your own brother, your own flesh and blood? You're not going to turn anybody in. Cover the alleys. We take the front. Work through the block. Well, then why don't you go out there and take what's coming to you? You think I'm crazy and wind up in the hot seat? You'll have to come in and get me.
You use me, Sergeant?
Yes.
Hey, Bill, come here. Both of you fellas, come on.
I'll blast the first guy that comes through that door. And I'll blast you if you make a move. Go ahead, they'll hear you. Get out, Keenan!
All right, Jimmy. Come on, take him out of here.
I'll get you for this, you.
Come on, now he goes. Come on.
Give me. Give it to me.
Take it easy, Jimmy. Take it easy.
He's been shot. Call the doctor. Get an ambulance. Call the doctor. Do something.
And one of our crew members will stop by shortly for your order. If you'd like to order additional menu items, you may hit the flight attendant call button at any time, and we would be happy to assist you.
Gimpy. Can you hear me?
Hi, Jimmy.
I'm sorry.
I ain't sore.
You're gonna be all right now. You're gonna get well. Beat your ears off if you do.
I ain't scared. Think I'll put my picture in the paper, maybe?
Sure they will.
Do you think they'll put out an extra?
You're a hero, ain't you?
are kind of slow. Jim, do we have to stick around?
Yeah. Be an extra out in a minute.
Extra Keenan electrocuted. Extra Keenan paid. Extra Keenan burns here. Keenan gets the hot seat. Extra paid for
You know where I just come from? The hospital. Gimpy's coming home tomorrow. He's fit as a fiddle, but he's mad as a hornet. You know why? They made him take a bath every day.
F. Keenan dies in chair. Extra, read all about it. Keenan electrocuted.
Watch your stand, will you, Pop? I gotta get to school.
over your shoulder or you won't live to be much older. Come out, wherever you are. EIS, boss. A ladder. Hey, if you go under a ladder, your days will grow sadder and sadder. Thanks for the information, boss. Oh, that's all right, pal. Put it here. Why not? In the house with an open umbrella will make you a most unfortunate fella.
Alright, welcome back to the flight deck. We're moving on. We're about 70 miles or so out from our top of descent. Time to start entering in some information. So, let's grab the weather and get the most recent update, and which is not too bad. It's pretty calm currently down in Miami. As you can see, put it into the chat, but the winds are variable at 5 knots, so swinging around, but we'll stick with our 08 runway choice. Visibility is 10 miles. Few scattered clouds at 3,000 feet, scattered at 5,000 feet. 30 degrees, which means we are not going to retract the flaps all the way up. Once we're on the ground, we'll leave them at flaps 1. And we do that because in the hotter temperatures, the hydraulic fluid expands, and retracting them all the way could cause some seals to burst due to the expansion of the fluid. We also have 299.1 as the altimeter, and we'll set that once we come down through transition. Other than that, the weather is looking fairly nice, so we can get our information plugged in now. So down we go to the MCDU. We're going to head into our approach phase. 299.1 will be the barrel. We'll enter that in. Temperature 30 degrees currently, as mentioned, and the wind's variable at 5, so we're going to go 080 at 5. Transition level of 18,000 feet. That's a landing speed of 129, approach speed of 134. ILS 08 right is confirmed. It will be a full flaps landing. And the frequency we want is 110.3. Heading of 092 is good. And our minimums for today, ILS minimums for the full ILS is 450 feet on the barrel. So that's now entered in. Come back to our cruise. And we're getting about 60 miles away from top of descent. So since we are going to be following in that route, we can come over here to our flight plan now. And we're going to come down all the way down here to Blitz. We are going to, after Blitz, we're going to head to, I want return. After Blitz, we're going to head to Chrome, which is Krome. And that will be where we are going to come in and stabilize and get ready for the landing. So there's Chrome. This will be where we turn off of the arrival to our waypoint, and that gives us about a 4-mile run to Capra. So we are going to delete that, insert. We're going to delete the manual heading. We're going to delete that one as well. So there you see Blitz. We'll be decelerating. We'll make the turn around the Chrome, and then we got a 4-mile run to Capra. We also want to be at 3,000 feet at Chrome, so we're going to come in here and change that. So I'll put in an altitude constriction of 3,000 feet. And at Capra we should be hard. It says 3,000 or above. We want a hard 3,000 there as well. There we go. That's all recalculated, and that gives us our hard level for the ILS intercept. So we're now 40 miles from top of descent, and everything is looking good. We can do a quick check on our flight plan. As you can see, we're going to come in, make the turn here to Blitz, and then we're going to work our way out for Chrome. It's showing the line like that because we're going a bit fast at the moment, but it will all work out to a nice turn, and then we're going to come in and land. Alright, so everything is looking good. Gonna get rid of our map now. We're basically heading straight in towards Miami. You can see the Florida coast now on the horizon. I'm just gonna move the chat window back down to the bottom of the screen. There we go. And working good. So as we're coming in, just a reminder, we are going to be streaming again tomorrow. It will be a multiplayer stream. We're flying the 747 freighter from Miami to Bologna in Italy. And we're going to stream the departure, climb to cruise, and then we'll stop the stream. We'll fly the flight, which is about a 9-hour flight, and then we'll come back on with the stream, about 7.5 hours after takeoff or so, and we will brief the arrival and landing into Italy. And that is tomorrow. That one will depart at 1400, which is our regular weekend stream time. So we're pretty much on our own. No need to make a call out when we start down, but we can start going through our checklist. So arrival and weather data has been entered in. Nav data matches the star and arrival as expected. MCDU approach page has been completed. Radios are set, 122.8. Wing and engine anti-ice is off. FCP, we are going to set to 3,000 feet, which will be our capture altitude for the ILS. And we have a continual run down with no vectors, so we're good for that. Altimeter, we're going to switch over, and 29901. We'll dial it into the standby so it's ready. So we're just a hair under standard pressure, which is all good. Approach has been briefed. Missed approach, we're going to climb out to 800 feet. We'll make a left turn to 3,000 and a heading of 270. And then once we hit the DHP VOR, we will head outbound on the radial of 335 for the waypoint BRA. So we come down and we can actually tune those in. So on nav radio 1, we will tune in 1139. That is now in, and we'll set the course we want, which is going to be the 335 radio. And that is now entered in as well. We'll turn on that. It will show us the heading that we're going to want. And that is entered in. I'm also going to come down here quickly. We'll go flight plan. First waypoint. Fix is going to be set at KMIA. And we're going to do a 25-mile radius around the airport, which is our minimum safe altitude area. As we can see that now showing up on the display. Alright, so that's the approach, and Mr. Approach has been brief. Auto brakes are going to be set to low. Big, nice runway. Plenty of room to get ourselves slowed down. And again, it's going to be hot, so we may end up floating a little bit as we come in for the landing. A few radio frequencies are up. We got Tampa Bay is up and a few others, but not Miami. So we're 3 miles out, so we're going to start our descent. And we're going to do that. Clicking it in, manage descent. There we go, we're heading down. And we're going to peg our speed at 280 knots. And we'll hold there.
Flight attendants will begin handing out forms momentarily. Please review and complete these forms and keep them with you for presentation upon arrival.
So Kevin is making good progress. He's down almost through 11,000 feet. There's our speed creeping up. So I hope that's something they fix. We should be starting our descents a little bit earlier on the profile to be able to maintain speed without using speed brakes all the time. I think it's starting us down a little bit late, requiring that manual intervention. Going to do a quick little check. Yeah, no other nav aids really in the area. What's your calculation for that, Kevin? And what do you do? Feet per minute? I'm gonna put in radio. Let's go with 118. See if we can pick up that one. Sure, that's the VOR frequency. Oh, 117.1. See if we can pull in that one. There we go. There's 26,000 feet. Target cruise altitude. Oh, the problem is though that it'll work you down and then slot you in on the steeper descent at some point. Still good. Gets us down. So we got some cloud cover over the coastline there. So we have a 9,000 foot restriction coming up at LTOD, and we have to be at 250 knots. Or, sorry. Where's that picking that up? That's not LTOD. It must be reband up here. Because reband is the one for our route, although we both incoming plans use Vice. Two hours, 30 minutes into the flight. Leaving the rest of the islands here, the Bahamas, out on their own. So heading in towards Miami. And we're sending right through 18,000, so we will set our altitudes in, set and cross-checked. Altimeters are set to local pressure. If you want a continuous descent by that method, you can multiply your ground speed by 5. 400, if I was multiplied by 5, that would be 2,000. 2,000 feet per minute. Interesting. All right. 18,000 feet, that is transition. Hey J-Hog, how are you? Currently en route back to Manchester. How's the weather there? It's a beautiful day coming into Miami. So at Neckney it wants us at 280, and then at Gammy it wants us at 250, so we'll watch our waypoints. Yes, David, it does not do it automatically. You have to tell it when to descend. So you set it, and then when you get, I usually do it 3 to 5 miles before. I'll have the distance to top of descent down here, and when I'm 3 to 4 miles out, I come up and it's the up arrow here on the manage, the altitude select button. Push it in, and then you start down. It does not do it automatically, unlike the 737s, the Boeings, where it does it on its own. Oh, J-Hog, nice. Enjoy it while it's there. Sounds like here we got a week of lovely weather coming up here. So very much looking forward to that. It's 15,000 feet. We're on profile now, heading to our altitude restriction of 9,000 feet at Reuben, R-A-E-B-N. Yeah, speed brake is still out, holding us here at 280. We shouldn't get below 1200, which is good. We're right over Necky. Now Gammy's coming up, we have to go to 250. So we'll bring that speed down to 250. Nicely ahead of schedule. Should be a great landing. We're going to extend past Blizzard, and then we'll make the turn in for Chrome. So switch over to heading mode for that little section there. EGPH, that's what, Edinburgh to Warsaw, or GC. I'm not familiar with GC. That's done in like the Grand Canaries or something, isn't it? Alright, speed back to 250. Gammy, we have to stay above 11,000. Bring those speed brakes in. Yeah, I know. I can put that down as a viewer request, David. I'm usually doing tours on my streams, but I can do a video of it. I am going away in July, so I could show it then. 737 EGPH to EPWA. I'll make a note of that. 10,000 feet coming up.
So I didn't really know what he was doing. I was probably around 5
Don't know who Kevin's talking to. It's 10,000 feet coming up, so we'll get the landing lights on. Runway turn-off lights will go on. We'll put our nose to taxi, and we will ding the cabin so they're aware, and we'll get the seatbelt signs on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the seatbelt sign is now turned on, so it is time to return to your seats and fasten your seatbelt.
Alright, there's our 9,000 foot restriction coming up.
We have begun our final descent into Miami. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any bags one final time.
1940 on the ILS-10.
Yeah, JFK is a nightmare at times. I think the last time I left, well, when I was flying out of London a couple weeks ago, I think we were like number 7 in the lineup. Miami area traffic skyways 5556 overhead Reuben at 9,000 feet, descending in on the Vice to arrival for the ILS 08 right, Miami. Alright, so I'm going to bring our speed back to 240.
We're short final on the ILS 08 right.
Yeah, my sister tracks my flights whenever I'm flying as well. So we have to be above 8,000 feet at Sistio, which we are. We're coming up for Dala. We have to be above 6,000. See you, J-Hog. Thanks for dropping in. So we're going to come down here. We're going to activate approach phase. As we come up to Dala, we're going to go into approach mode. We're going to drop down to green dot speed, which is about 207 knots today.
For our traffic, left heading 19er.
So Kevin's on final. Should be pretty good now with our speed slowing down. Coming in for Chrome. And we're into the clouds. Shouldn't be too thick. It did say we had clouds, but it was a fairly thin layer. Continuing our descent to 5,000 feet, which is what we have to be when we hit Bills.
Miami traffic 285, November 7, and right behind. We're reporting that the wind is going around with the tailwind and push us a fair bit down the runway, so if it's land long, if you're not ready for it.
Alright, so it looks like the winds are really flip-flopping around down there, and Kevin got a bit of a tailwind. So we'll see how they are when we get down. Should drop a little bit, but as long as they're below 10 knots, we should be okay. Alright, so auto brakes are set, ground spoilers are armed, nav course and frequency are checked.
Traffic Sterling 886, turning a final, 10 left, we've captured clockwise.
Alright, so we're pretty clear. We're going to flaps a reduction here as we come up to Bills. Flaps 1, that'll bring our speed down to about 185. Coming up for 5,000 feet. Speed's coming back.
We're texting to St. Skulls, Liner, Mike, Yankee, Quebec, and Sierra.
Sounds like he got off somewhere around Mike. There's Sierra.
Four Lauderdale traffic, 0 lane, 86, 7.5 mile final. 10 left, 4 Lauderdale.
Alright, there's our turn. Coming down to 3,000 now. Only 185. Go into approach mode. Landing systems are on. 12 miles out. Still descending down. We're currently above the glide slope, but that should be fine. Due to that, we're going to go localizer only. We'll wait until we get below the glide.
Traffic 886 landing 3 hours. What's your left? Fort Lauderdale.
Here's our turn for the intercept. Localizer is in capture mode. Altitude down to 3,000. Not sure why she's staying up high. There we go. Well, we are lining up. Hey, Dead SDK. Hello. You're just in time to join us landing here in Miami.
2,500.
2,500. Let's get flaps back. Gear down. Yeah, I know. 6 miles out. Manual control. Flaps 3. Approach is horrible. I'm a little bit behind the airplane, unfortunately. But we'll get her down fine. A little bit of a tailwind. Flaps full. Slightly high. Getting that nose down. We don't want to be too high as we come down, given the little bit of a tailwind that we've now got.
1,000.
1,000 to go. There we are. We're back on course. try to get her right down on the landing zone. Miami traffic, Skyways 5556, short final, runway 08 right, Miami.
Minimum.
Landing. Slightly high. There's 2 whites, 2 reds.
$100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
Oh, a little bit of a stutter there. We're down. Add some reverser. $60 knots, reverser's idle, reverser's off. Manual braking. Below 40 knots. Getting out of at Mike 9.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Miami. The local time is 12:48 p.m. and it's currently about 86 degrees Fahrenheit. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins as items...
Miami traffic, Skyways 5556 is clear, 08 right at Mike 9, taxiing to Concourse Gulf via Mike, Whiskey, Papa, and the apron. Alright, so overhead we go. Those can come off. Landing lights can come off. That can stay on taxi. Strobes will come off. APU will come on. We're going to come down here. Flaps are going to go to position 1 due to the heat, and speed brakes are retracted. Weather radar is turned off, and TCAS is turned to standby. So we got a few aircraft around here. See a couple back over there. Miami's been fairly busy today. Let's get our speed up a little bit slow. So we're going to coming down here. This is November 6th. We want Whiskey. And Whiskey's going to take us straight down on the other side. And we're heading down to Concourse G, where we should find Kevin sitting there. There's 5. We got to get around the end of the terminal there. Looks like where they bring in turboprops. Alright, Whiskey's the next one. This is, I believe it's Latin VFR's Miami. As mentioned, we're going to head down Whiskey to Papa, and then we'll take Papa to the G gates. We're going to be going into Gulf parking. We're going to go Gulf 11. No follow me required. I'll see you when I get there. international concourse. Never flown into Miami. All my flights have been either into Fort Lauderdale or Orlando. One into Tampa many years ago. All right. Here's Papa. This is Concourse Echo right here. This is Concourse Foxtrot. And the one we want is Golf, which is the next one behind. Miami is a huge place. So we're going in between Foxtrot and Golf, and we should be parking beside Kevin. Just watching where we are. This little jog here to the right. Golf coming into view. We're gonna go in at 20. Oh, there's Kevin and his JetBlue over there. And it'll be the second gate that's straight out, not one of these end ones. So here's the entry point. Back, and we're going to be parking right here coming up. Kevin, you might have gone into 7. Let's turn off the taxi light. I did say 11. No, you're in 9. It says it's got a safe dock system in it, so let's see what happens. Alright, around we go. Safe dock work. Oh, might very well work. Look at this. It's didn't mean to come to complete stop. On the line, A320. And a little sensitive on the brakes. Bring it up a little bit more. And we are stopped. Welcome to Miami, everybody. Let's get that parking brake on. Alright. We're going to hook up our ground power and throw the chocks in. There's our ground power and chocks are in place. come up top. External power is now connected. Engine control levers to idle. Beacon lights coming off. Fuel pumps are coming off. You guys can begin deboarding.
Deboarding requested.
Let's go. Landing systems and flight directors are off. Beacon lights off. Seatbelt signs are off. We're gonna get a jetway. There we go. You're going to the back of the airplane, aren't you? Oh, that is so wrong on so many levels. It's so wrong, we're not even going to go look at it. Horrendous. Well, we're just going to do this. There's Kevin over there. Thanks everybody for watching. Sorry, David, what transition? Transitions are where you move between phases of flight. So like your departure, your arrival, and your cruise. Those are transition points. An approach via star. Star is what's called a standard instrument approach. I did one on this arrival, which was the Vice 2, so it's a standard highway that everyone's feeding into when they're coming in for certain runways. It's the same as when you depart via the SID, which is a standard instrument approach. If you come over to my channel, I got videos in the tutorial section that kind of covers charts and what these things are and how to use them and all that stuff. Also, you can come over to the Discord. More detailed descriptions and stuff can be put there as well. I put the description into the chat, but you can also find the description in the video descriptions down below. Lots of information there as well. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for coming along. This is the tour around the Atlantic. We're flying from the tip of South America up and around and back down to the tip of South Africa. Hope you can join us again next week when we fly out of Miami on the next leg for this. But we are flying again tomorrow. We are heading from here in Miami on the 747 freighter. We're heading up to Italy for the Formula One. That's a split stream. I'll be streaming the departure and then the arrival several hours later when we get into Italy. But you're more than welcome to come along and join us for those. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you all on the next one. Bye for now.